afternoon, everyone. My name is Talisha Calhoun, and I am in the Adult in Higher Education program with an emphasis in training. And today we will be learning about online teaching strategies. For our course objectives, we will identify how to set clear expectations in an online environment. We will also explain how to effectively foster an engaging online environment. We will discuss how to ask the right questions to create effective dialogue in an online environment. And we will also discuss how to provide ongoing feedback. We will also express how important follow-up is in an online environment. For a little bit of fun, I would like for you to share your name and something also you'd like to share, and then we'll answer this question. If you could instantly become an expert in something, what would it be and why? And I'll go first. Again, my name is Talisha. If I could instantly become an expert in something, what would it be and why? I would instantly become an expert in braiding because my daughter's here with me today. She has a head full of hair, and I do not know how to braid. And if I could braid, her hair would be braided every day, so I wouldn't have to worry about doing it. So I will toss this ball and just introduce yourself, and if you want to share a fun fact, feel free and just answer the question.
My name is Cherie. If I can become an expert in something, it would be something related to cosmetology and hair. Just trying to perfect the craft.
So you do hair?
Yes, correct.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing hair?
A couple years.
A couple of years. Okay. Thank you, Miss Cherie. Just pass the ball to whoever you'd like to go.
I am Tashayla Cooper. If I had to become an instant expert in something, it would probably be teaching. So I have to train a lot of people, and I don't have the best patience, so.
Is there a specific area in teaching or?
Just in my department in social services.
Okay, how long have you been in social services?
8 years.
8 years. Well, that's awesome. Shayla, thank you.
Hi, my name is Devin Miller. If I could instantly become an expert in something, it would probably be cooking. And why? I guess just because I like food and I like to cook for other people, so it could be something I could do with my time, spare time.
Awesome, Devin. So you're gonna all invite us over for.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi there. I'm Jane Perez. I've been a nurse over 20 years, and I've done research with all kinds of backgrounds, and I've done oncology, which is cancer. So if I could do anything, I would have a cure to the cancer that is bugging most of us as women. That's what I would do.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jamie. So how long have you been a nurse?
Yes, over 20 years.
20 years.
Yes.
Was there a person who inspired you to become a nurse?
I actually didn't know any nurses back then. I'm a minority, so a lot of minorities, like back in that time, did not have. I was first generation high school, first generation college, so didn't have any of that inspiration. So I just kind of felt that it was a calling. It's been the best thing.
Well, thank you, Janie. I'm thankful for you because I do not like blood. So we'll let you handle that. Thank you, everyone. So how do we set clear expectations in an online environment? Well, Marcia, our peer student, she told us the components that make a syllabus. And in a syllabus, that's where you want to create and be clear about your expectations. You want to let your students know how long you want them to check in online. How thorough do you want the discussion post to be? Do you want it to just be a sentence or a full paragraph? Will you have a close date for your discussion boards? Some professors want you to post your discussion board by midnight on Wednesday and have responses by the end of Friday by midnight. So you just want to continue to set clear expectations. Which language would you want in your online course? Formal or informal? You want to post due dates everywhere in multiple places, the syllabus, the assignments tab, and within the weekly modules. So expectations, setting clear expectations, and letting your learners know what they need to know in an online course. Have a rubric. A rubric is a tool that evaluates a learner's performance, and there's two components. You have the criteria and the description. Rubrics are great tools because they clarify an assignment's expectations for adult learners. Rubrics create consistency in grading, and they also create personalized feedback for learners when they complete an assignment. That way they know what they need to work on. Or if you're a student who's an overachiever, you can look at the tab that you know how well you want to do in and do those bullet points on each description. So how to create an engaging online environment. Send an email before class opens, maybe a week before class opens. Introduce yourself to your learners. Let your learners know the class is open. That way they can familiarize themselves with the layout of the content and also print off the syllabus and familiarize themselves with the syllabus. Participate in online discussions. Some, but not too much. You always want to know when to jump in and when to just let your learners appreciate the different perspectives that they will receive in an online class. Utilize Flipgrid. Flipgrid is an interactive way for your learners to record their voices and record their faces. That way, your adult learners are able to put a face with a name, and especially if they see them out in public, they know that, hey, that's the lady I'm in class with online. You want to implement videos. You want to be as visible literally and figuratively. I had a class in my undergraduate, Dr. Bogner. He was amazing. He posted videos prior to the week to let us know what he expected, the assignments, and what he expected for the assignments, and just gave us encouragement throughout the week. He also posted videos at the end of the week to let us know how well we did, if there was anything we needed to work on. He was just great at doing that. So you just want to implement videos and just be visible literally and figuratively. Have Zoom Q&As, or you can also use Google Hangouts. This way it allows students to just check in on them. You always want to be supportive in an online environment because there's not a lot of face-to-face interaction, so you're missing that in the online course. And as adults, depending on schedules, make it voluntary. If someone really needs your feedback, just see if there's a day and time where they're available, and that way you can do a Zoom session or a Google Hangout session and just clarify any concerns or anything they may have. You want to ask the right questions. In an online environment, it's hard to get the critical thinking that you would normally get in a face-to-face classroom. So you want to ask open-ended questions related to the content. That way your adult learners can foster dialogue and critical thinking. Encourage debate. We all have different experiences online, and we all come from different backgrounds. So you want to encourage debate. You want to encourage the different perspectives, so that way, in the end, your learners will transform when they leave your online course. Let learners ask their own questions. In our environment, the learners, they need to know why they're learning, what it is they're learning this material for. So let the learner ask the right questions and be available to answer those questions. Provide ongoing feedback. Tell the learner what you liked. Tell them what you did not necessarily what you did not like, but what you would like to see on the next assignment. Ask questions in your feedback to get your learners critically thinking for the next assignment. For example, how could this theory apply to a different scenario? Or what about this theory? You always want to have your learners reflecting, so that gives you ways to continue to give them feedback. You want to create that space. Use the 80-20 rule. That rule is 80% strengths and 20% areas where they can improve upon. So for the next assignment, they know, hey, this area I need to work on, this area I'm doing great on. Be specific and encouraging with your feedback. The guided rubric will help with the feedback because it's a specific format and it has different criteria where the adult learner can do well in the next time. Follow up. How many of you have been in a situation where someone told you they're going to follow up with you and they did not follow up with you? Almost everybody in the room. So how did that make you feel?
Frustrated because you thought you had the point across how important it was, and you felt like it was respected. You know, hey, I gave you plenty of time. Why didn't you just tell me, hey, I can't do it?
Yes, exactly. Anyone else?
no sense of urgency. It's like, I'll just do it. Like, it will get done when I want it to get done. Not that I need it done within 24 hours. You're just gonna get it done when you feel like it, basically. So it doesn't help you out.
So we've all had that. I didn't get your email. I didn't get your text. Try to be intentional with checking your email maybe 2 to 3 times a day, because again, in an online course, we're missing that face-to-face interaction with our students. Respond within 24 to 48 hours. That way your students know that you do care, you are there for them, and you see that there's a need. They have a question that they want to be answered. So you're gonna do that for them. In some cases, a phone call might be best. There might be assignment that it's just best to speak over the phone instead of responding a lengthy email about how to complete the assignment the way you would like it to be done. And always ask the student which method of contact they would prefer, and specify a day and time for you and the learner to speak about the assignment or any questions they may have to clear up some concerns or just to get some clarity. If a student didn't do so well, know when to reach out. And in this area, you always want to be yourself and authentic in the beginning. So when you reach out, the student knows that you actually care and you're there to support their learning process. Follow up with the student to see if there's anything else you can do to help. Just continue to create space for your learner and continue to be supportive and always follow up. You want to be intentional when you are doing online courses because you want to expect more work. And this is actually a quote from Dr. Cox, who is in the undergraduate program for the organizational leadership program. And he said, expect more work, really good interactive learning. Takes time, effort, probably more than face-to-face. It gets tiring, but some days it is worth it. And with online courses, I mean, we're missing that face-to-face interaction. So we just want to make sure that we're being intentional with our learners, make sure we're being ourselves, our authentic selves, and engaging with them in a way that is fostering that engaging environment that makes them want to get online and learn. And they don't leave the course feeling like they didn't learn anything or they weren't valued because you were the ghost online. Always be intentional with giving feedback, chiming in on discussion boards, and just making yourself visible, literally and figuratively. Do we have any questions? Have you ever taken an online course?
Yes, ma'am.
You have? How many undergrads have ever taken an online course before? So did any of this thing relate as a learner being on the other end? Like, did you ever have a professor who was kind of considered like the ghost in your course and you never heard from them? You emailed them and you were like, I never got a response or anything like that?
Yes. I did have a course that was my last semester, and I thought, oh, I got this. It's an easy class. It's like a religion. It's the last, of my pre-university. And I was disappointed because her grading system was beyond English Comp 2. And I was like, okay, this is a religious class, and why am I graded so fiercely? I had to get like a couple of tutors because I thought my writing was impressive, but not to that professor. So I was disappointed in that because it was an online class. And I spoke to my advisor, and she says, oh, she's got tenure, so that's just the way it's going to be. So it's very disappointing that she had been doing this for a while, and several of the students had complained about it, but she still got away with it. And it was really disappointing. That was the only online class that I felt disappointed. Everything else was fine.
And Jane, when you were finished with the class, did you feel like you took anything positive away from the
Not
class?
really, because I graduated, and it was my last semester, and she made me have a bitter taste in my mouth on how the whole college curriculum did online. That was the only class. It was only her. And I told my advisors, like, if you knew that she was that way, why did you not tell me? And she felt like she was, I could not say that to you when you were registering. But everybody knew about that professor. And it was, I was upset because I didn't do the rate for professor or anything like that. Because I was like, oh, I'm almost done. How hard can a religious class be? And I was very disappointed with that. So that was probably the only flaw with the online. You don't really know what you're getting.
That is true. You go in there kind of blindfolded. Would anyone else like to share their experience in an online course?
I think one of the downfalls of having an online course is the internet's not you can't get your stuff turned in on time. I think that was one of my biggest problems that I had is like at Langston when I went. I had an online course and I went to class 2 in my online course. Sometimes our internet didn't work in the dorm, and the teacher would tell you, "Well, go to the library." Well, if it's not working in the dorm, it's not going to work at the library, and it didn't. So if you didn't turn it in, it was a 0. So I think that can be frustrating with online classes. I don't think that really gets taken into consideration
Did you
for
feel
some.
sorry? Did you feel like your professor was supportive in that instance?
No, not really.
Yeah, most of the time they're like, well, everybody else got out on time, why didn't you? But you have other classes where you're working, and so you're usually working at night when all that starts happening. If it's due at midnight, you know, the majority of it's done. You just need the last hour. That's when your internet goes down, and that is a challenge.
What do you invite your faculty to share their experience in an online environment? Well, thank you, Jane and Devin, for sharing your thoughts. And I just want to thank everyone for being here while I do my teaching demonstration. And I appreciate your time.